And welcome back to the morning show. And joining us in studio this morning, Superintendent for the Roswell Independent School District, Brian Luck, back with us. Good morning, sir.
Morning, sir. How are you today?
Doing good. Doing good. How was your Thanksgiving?
Too fast.
It always is.
Always is.
Yeah. It's well, I know it's been a few weeks since our Thanksgiving, but I talked to you last time was before that.
Yes, sir.
So, but of course, now we're days away from Christmas break here, so I'm sure teachers, staff, even the school board's probably saying, "I'm ready for a Christmas break."
Yes. I don't know that we've ever had a Christmas that was more looked forward to than this one, and you know, it goes across the board as parents and probably employers are ready for some of the the things too. Just let's get a marking point and call it Christmas and see what the new year brings.
Absolutely. Let's start afresh in 2022 here. But school board did meet here on Tuesday evening here. Now, I'm guessing, barring anything crazy, this is the last official board meeting for 2021 here. And I guess probably the last meeting for a couple of the board members, too.
Yes, sir. We sure hope this is the last board meeting. Yeah, that would be really bad. But no, last regular scheduled meeting, and we did say thank you and not goodbye, but we did say thank you to two of our members that are not returning for the new year, which is Mrs. Mona Kirk and Mr. Milbert Nolan, and had an opportunity I brought in Mr. Gottlieb to kind of come in and share a little bit of past about the two of them, and just want to say thank you for their service and for the time they've put in and the time that they've spent, and had an opportunity to kind of just brag on them a little bit.
Absolutely. Well, any person that seeks out to serve on the school board, I mean, they're doing it for one reason and one reason only, because they care about our kids and they care about our schools. And there's no other reason why anyone on earth would want to do that. So, you know, we can really appreciate that dedication and hard work and the successes that they had during their time on school board.
Oh, yeah. And, you know, we had our New Mexico School Boards Association meeting last week. Actually, might have been 2 weeks ago now. Up in Albuquerque, where we had a swearing in of new members, and but had an opportunity to receive a little love from that association for our board, and we had 3 members from our school board receive some recognition and some honors, and it was due to the time that they've spent in the trainings, and that would be Mrs. Kirk again, Hope Morales board president, and Miss Hilda Sanchez.
Very
and
awesome.
Just super neat. And Mr. Gottlieb had brought up, even in the meeting, that it's very rare that we have that many members receive the accolades because of the time that they put in. And that just goes to show the commitment of the individuals that we have that are, you know, have stepped forward to help with the community, help our kids, and, you know, ultimately hold me accountable for the job. And you know, that responsibility is pretty big. And you know, they have always stepped up and have done really well.
Sure.
Very proud of them.
I would imagine, too, as you're going through, you know, first year here as superintendent, that, you know, that's a unique relationship, a board and a superintendent, because in some ways, you know, the board is your boss, but at the same time, everyone runs at the beat of your drum in some way, shape, and form, because you're the guy that has to make it executed. So that's a unique relationship where, well, yeah, technically they're your boss, but at the same time, they're the ones that are giving you the resources that are, you know, kind of helping you succeed.
Right.
If that makes sense.
It does. And I think with the group that, you know, thus far, if we've had a question or any kind of a need or when I've sought any type of information, they've always been, you know, solid and on the spot. And, you know, I think after visiting with our group that's coming in, I look for a pretty seamless transition. They had an opportunity to visit with both of them. I knew both of them personally before the election took place, and you know, they're very much aware of what's in front of them.
Sure.
And
I was kind of going to ask. I'm curious because you've got a chance to talk to them now, you know, prior to election, but then also now that they've gone through kind of their boot camp up north there. Has their eyes been open a little bit of what like what they thought the job was versus some of the things that, like, oh, this is not, I didn't realize this was part of being a school board member.
I'll answer what.
I mean, just your impression. Yeah, your impression.
Yeah, okay. Whew.
Yeah, I'm not saying you just put. Did you get the idea their eyes were open a little bit coming back from training, or were they pretty much on target with what they thought it would be?
You know what we were able to do is the week. I think either the week after the election or the week after that, we actually were able to bring in our counsel and have an in-house with them, and it was really neat to listen to some of the questions that they had. And so I think to answer your question, ultimately it's I think nobody fully understands really, even the group that we have on there right now. I think when they first started, I don't think anybody totally understands what they're fixing to be in for, but I do feel like our group, when we went up to Albuquerque the other day, had a little better prep going into it. I saw some people up there from some other communities that I just wanted to go and get them out of the corner and walk them back out into the room.
And they always, I mean, obviously, why I asked. I mean, there was during this election, it got a little heated and things, and a lot of information was getting out there, and I was one of those people getting concerned. Is there's a lot of promises being made that aren't part of that job, and that's why I thought maybe some folks go in there like, okay, there's more to it than just you can't go cowboy when you start getting into these elected positions.
Well, and I think again with anything, you bring people in and we work together, and there's an ebb and a flow and some give and take of anything that we're going to do, but. Again, I'm looking forward. I feel pretty comfortable. Feel pretty confident. Like I said, both of our guys are grounded in the community.
Sure.
And I don't think we're going to have to do a whole lot of explaining about some of the ebb and flow of Roswell, and that's going to make it really nice.
Yeah, good. Well, that's good to hear. Well, there was agenda items on last night's meeting. Other than that, as far as end of year meetings go, are they generally a pretty late in action packed, or is it a lot of housekeeping stuff, or somewhere in between?
Last night we were able to honor our board members was the first part of it, and then we had a pretty cool recognition for the Goddard football team. We had an incident where they were on their way to Artesia and came across an accident and offered, I would say, more than just assistance. Sure. They pretty much they turned a car over.
Absolutely. They were great citizens and if they, I don't know life-threatening serious, but they came to the aid of some citizens here and did an amazing thing in our community.
Well, and what was really cool about that is that incident has made the news multiple different levels. It made it it went viral on Twitter and Instagram that afternoon, and then it was on the state news, and even the night before the board meeting, it was part of the one of the stories on the state news that they were going to be honored again for it. So it's
cool,
and that just speaks volume of the appreciation that people have for events like that. And obviously, I wouldn't advise people running around looking for cars to flip over, but
if you're in the right place at the right time,
I
do what
think
you got to
so.
do.
And I again the testimony to the coaches and the kids and the work that they did.
Well, that's the what we saw there, and just my opinion. What you saw there is the ancillary teachings of sports and football.
Oh yeah,
the team concept that we help in, and we're all for one here, and that was that moment there. Coaches come out and there's not enough muscle there. All right, the team's coming out. We're gonna help here, and maybe God put him there in that place for a reason. I don't, some people believe, don't believe. I'm saying he happened to be at the right place at the right time.
Well, it was, so many people are quick to point out the negative, and that was just a really neat opportunity to acknowledge the positive. They were a little busy in the last few months, so we asked that they come up in December and had a chance to honor them, and they were studying for finals, so we had some representatives and had a coach in there with them, and they very humble as usual, and thank you, and on out the door they went to go study for finals. Had just some other informative items. That one of the things that was interesting was we were talking about it and going through like COVID navigation and how have we put forth throughout the semesters and looking at it when we first started, I was like, well, I'm gonna make a list, and my expectation is that I could really put down these monster things, and I kept coming back to survival, and I could not. There's thousands of specifics, but I just couldn't come up with anything that echoed any more than our staff, our parents, our students, and the fortitude that it has taken to get through this first semester.
Sure.
And I wanted to just focus there. I mean, we can talk about computers in the hands and the internet and technology and personal protection gear and hand sanitizer and air filters. I mean, we can run a gamut, but there just really is nothing that can compare to just the determination of our staff, the discipline that it has taken to get to this point. And it was funny because I was pretty short, and I got to the end of it, and everybody just kind of looked at me, and I was like, "That's it. That's what I want. The focal point right there is that we as an entity have taken something that nobody could have remotely prepared for. I mean, you can make preparations, but it's been some heavy sledding at times, and that goes. The fact that it's gotten to where it is as well as it has is our teachers and our kids and our parents. And I say all the support group and everybody. I mean, it's taken everyone to get to the spot. You've got employers in the city that have had people come in and say, "Man, my kid got quarantined again, and I have to stay home with them." And they work with them, and it's so much appreciated. I cannot tell you how much as a superintendent or as a school or an association. Because not every town's like that. They don't have a sense of community, and there may be 7 or 8 schools in that community, and it's just not the same.
Sure.
And here in Roswell, it's just very much appreciated.
We all live on the same patch of dirt here, and I think it and what makes us better is in times like this coming together. And there's going to be hurdles, there's going to be more, but if we can work in concert here, and teachers working with the parents working with their kids and the teachers, and that little triangle there, that's, you can get that going, then all those hurdles get over. So, that's probably like the message for everybody, teachers, parents, everybody, communicate, talk with your folks, with everybody involved. And that's all part of that. So, we'll figure it out, whether we have to, whatever they throw at us next, whether we're going to have to stand on our head wearing a mask in a computer room or whatever they're going to make us do next, or whatever version of coronavirus comes at us next here.
Well, and one of the things that I tried really hard, and I've been going out into the schools and just kind of listening, and I've really been prepared for anything, and that's kind of what I've got is anything, everything, and I've tried to impress upon the groups is okay, we've pretty much set up our own parameters right now, and that we've spent the last 6 months defining whatever that might be, what that looks like, your boundaries here, your boundaries there.
Yeah.
And, the hope is coming back in January that if nothing major changes, which, knock on wood, I don't foresee anything. I haven't heard of anything. I mean, there's always something right around the corner, but what that is, we don't know.
The school board maps aren't usually as controversial as the other ones, so people don't fight as much as those. I'm guessing. I'm hoping.
Likewise. But if we could even just be afforded the opportunity to work in some of the parameters that we've already set up,
sure,
we're gonna do great things.
Yeah,
and we already have. And we talked about that a little bit about our February meeting. We want to bring forth a little bit of a data presentation. We've taken some mid-year assessments, not monsters, just some little bit of localized, standardized tests to get a vibe of where we're at. And some of what I'm getting early on from my principals is growth and growth across the board. Pardon me. And that's what I'm looking for. We've got standards that we're trying to obtain, absolutely. But right now, I'm willing to count even the smallest success as a success, and just build on it.
Yeah. Well, progress is everything moving forward, numbers up. That's progress. That's what we're
absolutely.
Wanting. We'll take it in inches and we'll take it in miles, but we want it going that way.
Yes, sir.
Good deal. Any other things on the agenda from the meeting that we need to discuss or let folks know about?
No, not really. Okay. We did pass our board did pass a literacy resolution last year for the year of literacy, which is falls along with the public education department.
Okay.
And it reaffirms the focus that, if we don't have the ability to read and comprehend what we're reading, it is going to be really hard to do anything else. And it's a big push. And I want to thank Ms. Sanchez for bringing that forward, board member that sponsored that one. And, obviously that passed unanimously and then echoed by the rest of the group that this isn't just a year-long thing. This needs to be a lifelong thing.
That's a foundation.
Absolutely.
You really can't advance in education without that foundation of reading. That's,
Correct.
You want to keep going, you got to start there.
Oh yeah. Did kind of focus a little bit on some upcoming events over the break. You've got the Pokhorn back in town.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure you've got those groups.
We're
coming in.
gonna we want to encourage folks to get out to the games when that's going on. I think it's the 28th. Does that get underway? I don't know off the top of my head, but it's right between Christmas and New Year's, that week of.
Right.
We will be video. I think they're going to be videoing all the games. I think of course we'll have the announcers at the Roswell, Goddard, those games, but they may not have announcers at all the other games. But they're going to have video coverage of all of that at KSVP TV. But go out to the tournament. Go support the Optimist Club. Is it Noon Optimist? Sunrise Optimist. I apologize. This is the big event. I would argue the Pokhorn is one of the most prestigious high school basketball tournaments in the state of New Mexico.
Yes, sir. At one point, it was one of the oldest too. And we had a few years where we had a little bit of break in action, and then it got reestablished. And I mean, if you talk to people that have lived here, 50, 60 years, and they can all tell you a story about going to the Pokhorn and seeing so-and-so and so-and-so play. And it just, it's something to do. And it's dare I say, normal for this time of year. Now, you're going to get there, and we're going to ask that you keep your mask on. And that's one of the things that we've been asked by.
That's not going to change anytime soon.
No, and I'm
sorry. The world we live in right now.
But we were asked by the folks with the NMAA, and I will say this: whenever we speak of them, we might as well say the DOH, because I can assure you, if it was up to the crew at the New Mexico Activities Association, we might have a little different take on the way it looks out on the court. But right now, we're still following under the Department of Health orders, and
so that changes.
If the kids are wearing a mask, I really don't see why I can't expect my fans to wear a mask. I mean, that's tough to do, and the officials and we appreciate it, and we'll ask, just help us out a little bit.
Yeah, and it's one of those things. This is the cost of doing business right now, and that's to have these events, to be able to do it. This isn't the hill we want to die on. All right, well then we're not going to have it. Oh dang, well, then I'll put the mask on.
Well, and that again goes back to the kids, and it is, like I said. And I have two kiddos, and I've got one in high school and one in mid school. And to go into a gymnasium, whether I'm wearing a mask or a hat or a jacket, I mean, it's starting to feel better.
Yeah.
I don't know that I'd say right, but it's,
people are starting to not be so stringent on some of that stuff. So.
Well, I'm trying to focus on the things they're getting to do versus the things that I'm having to do and make it work.
And I don't want to get philosophical, but here we go. In this stage of the world, everyone that wants to be vaccinated is pretty much vaccinated in 1, 2, or 3 shots at this point. Right. The people that are doing other things or don't want to do it all, they're doing their own precautions and their own thing, which guess what? You're allowed to do that here in this country. Yep. And at this point, you either feel protected enough or you don't, and you need to do what you need to do to take care of yourself, and that's where I think we're at in the world right now.
I think you're right.
Yeah,
it's interesting because we were talking. I was at Sierra Middle School the other day visiting with some teachers, and a very nice individual, and he says, as a first year teacher, and I stopped him, and I said, we're all first year teachers right now, buddy. And I said, so I appreciate that you announced that this may be your first go around with this, but understand you're special, but you're not different right now. Yeah. And we are all right here in this together.
The learning curve is the same right now.
And you know what? There have been some proposals that have gone forward for some changes with maybe like our kids on the floor, maybe not having to wear a mask, and the timing of it. has just been pretty poor.
Sure.
It's of nobody's fault.
Yeah.
But that doesn't keep us from trying.
Sure.
But I think one of the biggest things is to show that we're willing to work, and I think we've done that. I think we've again on that one too. I think we've turned a corner.
Sure. I mean, it's you always hear that you get more flies with honey than vinegar and all, and it's a little of that philosophy.
Right.
It's like it's compromise. It's the art of compromise. You say, okay, I don't want to do this, and they're saying, well, I want you to do this. All right, well, I'll do this if you do this, and that's in essence that's all we're doing here, is saying, all right, we'll put the mask on so when we have the event, and I'm thinking, maybe a year from now, people are just like, whatever, just go play ball.
Well, we look at opportunities, and oh gosh, it was almost 2 years ago now that our basketball teams. I don't think we had anybody doing it, but we have basketball teams actually in Albuquerque playing in the state tournament, and we actually made the phone call to our coaches, and we're like, "Get home now," and we've come a long way since that.
Yeah,
we got ways to go, and I'm I totally agree with that. But
Sure.
but as far as where we were a year ago, there's no comparison.
it's time to start being back to what we think of as a normal life again. Start heading in that direction.
I wouldn't mind it.
Yep, absolutely. Of course, that and Pocorn also I mentioned Goddard Lady Rocket
Yes, sir.
tournament going on. We'll
holiday
have
classic.
the Holiday Classic. We'll have. I know we're going to definitely have the Goddard in. Is Roswell in that one too?
I believe
We'll
so.
definitely have both there.
I think so.
I'm not sure if we're going to have all the other teams for that one, but we'll definitely have Roswell and Goddard games on video for folks there. So.
Gotcha.
And then, of course, folks have any questions about anything, don't forget, stay in touch with your teachers,
Sure.
your principals. Don't forget, get online, stay active with your kids' grades and things like that. That's the best way to make sure your kids are succeeding is kind of making sure that communication loop between the teacher, the student, the parents is strong and wide open.
Well, and it was interesting going into the year. It was like we're going to have it one way or the other, and I don't know really how it played out of with so many parents having to take the only active role with their kiddos. My wondered was, would this be the year where the teachers were just inundated with parents calling because last year they were the ones doing the teaching, or would this be the year that the parents would just say, I did that for a year, they're all yours again, and I'm sort of curious as to how that one's played out. So
Sure.
I have to put something out to my teachers, but. No, you're right. I mean, stay involved, and that can only help because again, while we're transitioning into back to whatever normal can look like, we do end up with consequences with normal and
Absolutely.
and expectations, and we can't continue to just say, well, because of COVID,
Right.
and that's what I'm hoping that the January brings is. Okay, that might have flown a year ago, but we've just done 6 months, and everybody's had an opportunity to adjust, and now let's go.
It's time to get back to progress.
That'd be nice.
Absolutely. Is there anything you wanted to mention, or anything that we missed that we can get a chance to talk about that you wanted to impart before we let you get back to it?
No, I think again, just want to thank our outgoing board members and say. Congratulations to our two new ones coming in, and look forward to
Working with you and
2022 and hopefully a brand new year and seeing what we can do with the district. And like I said, we've had a lot of time to get our planning and arranged. And like I said, dare I say, we almost had a chance to plan the other day. And it felt so nice to go, wait a minute, you mean we're not reacting? We can actually plan ahead a little bit here, and
my seat of my pants is tired of flying.
I guess so.
But absolutely, thank you very much to our two outgoing school board members. Thank you for your service. Congratulations and good luck to the members coming in, and hopefully they find great successes together as a board going here into 2022. So good deal. Thank you.
Yes, sir.
As
Thank
well.
you.
Thank
Likewise.
you for joining us and keeping up to date with us this year. Look forward to more of that in 2022. And
Yes, sir.
anything we can do to help you guys out, let us know.
Likewise. I appreciate it very
Awesome.
much. Love the relationship with this organization.
Awesome. Well, thank you. Merry Christmas.
Yes, sir. Merry Christmas.
All right.